ready to hop into Zapier. If you don't have a Zapier account, go ahead and get that all set up. Come to your dashboard and hit Make Zap so we can get started. So once you hit Make Zap, it'll bring you over to the section. Won't look like this. I'll walk you through how to set it up. First things first, go ahead and name your Zap. I always forget to do that, so I like to point it out first and foremost. I just called this Twitter newsletter, whatever works for you. So the first trigger we're going to add is Twitter. We want to search for tweets. So go ahead and add Twitter. Again, you may need to set that up. So go ahead and hit pause, get it all set up, and link to your account. Once you have that set, we need to pick a trigger event. There's lots of options when it comes to what to search for in Twitter. This particular tutorial walks you through a search mention. So the idea is that you're tweeting regularly with a certain phrase that you want to share with your newsletter audience. So go ahead and hit search mention and then continue. So you're going to choose your account, get that all set up, and then enter your search term. So for me, I entered this term, which is my podcast. So this should be something very specific to you, but if somebody is tweeting about it, don't worry, the next step takes care of that. So go ahead and put in your search term and test your trigger. If you find something, you're going to want to select it. If you don't, you might need to go back and edit your setup trigger. The best advice I have is to search back through your tweets. If there's a common phrase that you're using or something you want to start using, just remember what that is, and each time you tweet, include those exact words, and this will all work perfectly. So go ahead and set up that trigger. Then you're going to want to hit continue. From here, we're going to add a filter. Now, this is great because if someone perhaps is tweeting about the exact same thing that you are, you want to be sure you're only capturing your tweets. So we're going to go ahead and click filter by Zapier. So if you can't find that, just type in filter. It should be up here, but if not, grab it there. So once we have that, go ahead and hit continue. And then we're going to look for the username. So from your Twitter, you're going to pick your username, text matches exactly, and then your username again. This way, if somebody inadvertently is pulling in the same phrase or tweeting the same phrase that you are, now you're sure it's only continuing on with this data if it's you that it's capturing. Okay, after the action, we want to add our step of digest. So we know that things are only going to move forward if it's us tweeting our little phrase. So now we want to find a way to put all of this data together. So we're going to append and schedule digest. This is going to allow all of those tweets to come together in one nice paragraph style format. So go ahead and title this whatever you would like. And from there, we're going to create our entry. Now, we do want to add a little bit of code to this because we want this to be in a nice paragraph format. And right now, if it came in, it would just be one long string of text. So you can do that very easily. This is the little sign for paragraph. So go ahead and put that in there. And then we're going to grab the text from the search mention in Twitter and close out that paragraph. Now, this will ensure that we have a new paragraph each time we have one of these lines. From there, you're going to go on down and choose the frequency. This can be whatever you would like. So go ahead and do whatever works best for you in your format. I'm going to choose daily, let's say at 8 p.m. and sure, it can run on the weekends. So we're going to go ahead and hit save and continue and test and review. Perfect. Was sent to our digest. Now we're on to the next step, which is creating an Airtable record. Go ahead and close, hit your plus sign, and grab Airtable. So you're going to want to pick Airtable. Again, if you need to set that up, go ahead and do so now. So for this, we're going to create a record. So this is going to push over to that table that we just created. So go ahead and hit continue, pick your Airtable account and your base. So our base here is the Twitter feed, or whatever you've named it previously. The table, we called it newsletter tweets. And then from here, you're going to fill in the appropriate data. So we want the username, who tweeted, which is us. This is another good backup as well, in case for some reason your filter would fail. The tweet, so we're going to want to pull in that tweet data here. And then the newsletter from digest is where we're going to pull in the append digest entry. This will pull everything over in a nice paragraph format for us. Pull in our Twitter URL. So we grab that here and come down to Twitter URL. Oops. I want to duplicate it for you. And then if you have the date or any additional information that you wanted to put in there, go ahead and do that here. Hit save and continue. And we're going to retest. Perfect. So our record was just sent over to that particular base. So now you can see you have the tweet in its full format and then also the nice HTML text that we have here. So now we're on to the last step of creating a campaign in MailChimp. Before we head on to here, let's go over to Airtable and check